At some point, nearly every course creator will get this question that we're going to talk about today, and that is, how long does it take for me to complete your course? So today I want to talk about how you can come up with at least an estimate of an answer to give your prospective students. So let's get to it.
Welcome to the Course Creators HQ podcast, helping you navigate the latest techniques for creating and marketing online courses. And now, here is your host, Julie Hood.
Hey there, welcome to episode 151 of the Course Creators HQ podcast. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Thanks for listening. And before I talk about today's main topic, I have two important things that I want to share with you. The first one is, if you haven't yet joined the drawing that we're doing, there's a couple more weeks left until July 15th of 2023 to jump in, and every day you can actually come back and get more entries. So go to coursecreatorshq.com/drawing or the show notes to get on the list so that you can jump in and join us and maybe be the winner of over $5,000 in prizes. Okay, and then the other thing that's coming in July that I hope you are thinking about and contemplating and considering is we are going to have the 24-hour course creator from July 12th through the 15th, and you can join us and jump in with a group to work on your course and just finally get the thing done. So if you have had this on your to-do list, you're like, I need to do this, and I just haven't gotten around to it, and you tend to be that type that if you could just sit down and focus, you could get it finished, please come join us. I'll put the link in the show notes, or you can go to coursecreatorshq.com/podcast intensive, and that will get you on the list so that you can come join us starting July the 12th of 2023 for just a couple days and get the first round of content together so that you actually have this extra revenue stream that you are wanting. So especially right now, as we're waiting to see what's going on with the economy and what's happening, like, let's just get another revenue stream. I've got some ways that you can set it up easily so that you don't have to have a lot of tech issues. I'm going to be walking you through the whole program the whole time. So we're going to have coaching every day. We're going to have co-working sessions every day. Plus, you'll get my Launchpad courses, not the coaching, but the courses. You can get that too, to help you figure out the sales piece of it. So let's just get that new revenue stream set up starting on July the 12th. Okay, now for today's concept and how you can apply it in your course. So before long, when you're selling your course, you're going to get the question from a student that says, how much time is it going to take for me to do your course? How long is it? And that's a question which, honestly is a very fair question from prospective students. They are legitimately wondering, do I have time to do this right now? So we want to be able to give them a somewhat reasonable answer. The challenge is, however, you're not really aware of how long it takes them to comprehend, how long it takes them to execute, how fast they type, how organized are they. There's so many questions that can affect the timing, but I want to give you sort of a place to start, and then you can refine it the more you offer your course. So the first thing is, you have two main responsibilities as the course creator. The first one is to create that course that gets the result in the smallest number of lessons as possible. So part of your goal as the creator of the course is to make sure that you're getting them on that path as easily and as quickly as you can. So that's one thing we'll talk about. The second thing is, you want to try to estimate for your prospective students how long it's going to take. So I'll give you some benchmarks that you can use to kind of get a round number that you can share. So let's start with having as few lessons as possible. And the reason for this is, if you think about it, most people really don't want to take a course. honestly, if we're 100% honest with ourselves, it's not the course part that people are interested in. It's that outcome. It's that when you get done with 24-hour course creator intensive, you'll have a new revenue stream that you can use. So that's the part that they are most interested in. So whatever it takes to actually do it, you want to make that as simple and as easy as possible. So how can you put together your course in the easiest way possible for your students? So one of the things to do is to go through your outline as you're putting it together and be like, is this essential? Is this step absolutely necessary to get to the end game? And, it's when you're, let's say, going on a summer trip, it's absolutely necessary that you stop and you get more gas or you fuel up the batteries to keep going. It's not absolutely necessary that you stop and get snacks every hour. So that's kind of how we're thinking about our course lessons. Like, is it gas for the car? Is it electricity for the batteries? Or is it, hey, it'd be nice to stop again and get another soda? Okay, so you're going through your lessons. You're picking out those ones that are essential, that they have to do in order to get the results. And then there's a couple other things you can also do. And that's sort of how I've pulled together 24-hour course creator, because I pulled out the essential steps that you need to do a course, not a giant course, but a smaller type course. And I gave you time to do it in. So part of the secret is you get X amount of time to go do this step and then you stop. So you may or may not want to add that kind of thing into your course. You could do something like, an estimated amount of time they should spend and encourage them not to go over. But thinking about the timing of the lessons can be super, super helpful. So then you can also think about what are some of the templates and the guides and checklists and cheat sheets and all of these things that can save people hours and hours of time. So we have our 24-hour cheat sheet that has every step on it. It has instructions and help. You literally just go down hour by hour and complete it. So it doesn't get much easier than that. So the same sort of thing in your course. In addition to asking yourself what's essential and what's not, what can you make easier or more efficient? Can you add links to things directly for folks? Can you give them a checklist? Can you give them a cheat sheet? Can you give them templates that will make it so much faster and easier to put the course together? And then your second responsibility is around estimating how long it's going to take somebody to do your course. So we're going to start with the actual guts of the course. How long are your videos? Or do they have to read things? Or, what is the timeline of what it is that they actually need to do to take the course? So, if you have 12 videos and they're all 10 minutes each, right there you're going to have 120 minutes of video watching. So start there, like what is in the raw part of your course and how long does that take to get through the content to actually watch the lessons. Then the second part of it is the implementation of the course. And that gets a little bit trickier for you to estimate, but here's some things you can try. This first thing is benchmark out yourself. So how long would it take you if you were going to go do this step of the course? So as an expert, as somebody who's been doing it for as long as you have, how long would it take you to do each step of the course? Then multiply that by 2, 3, 4, 5, however, whatever multiplier makes sense for how long you've been at it, how easy it is for you to do, how fast you are, all those kinds of things. So then you can kind of have a benchmark of, as an expert, and you can even say this if people ask you, as an expert, it would take me X amount of time to implement. It will probably take you 2 to 3 times as long because you're just a beginner just getting started. Then you want to think about what are some of the places where your students could get stuck. and the things that could really absorb a lot of their time. So, for example, I send my students on some researching type of steps, and if I'm not careful, they can spend a lot of time and go down a lot of rabbit holes. So we have to put some boundaries in place to keep them from doing that. So one of the things you can also do is figuring out where you can say, hey, I don't want you to spend more than X amount of time on this, or stop yourself after you've spent X amount of time on this. Another way you can take this to the next level is do that beta course first with your students and really ask your beta students to help you understand, like, how long is it taking them to do different steps, the trickier ones, the ones that you're not quite sure you have completely explained. Those are places where maybe you could improve the course. Maybe you need to do a demo video where you walk them through how to do something online. Or maybe you need some more examples to make it clear and make it easier. What is it you could change up that would improve it for your beta students? But at least start with, like, where are they at? What did it take for them to do it? Then go back and find every place where you could save your students time. So this is things like, don't just say, go to YouTube and search for X. Actually, go search for that yourself and give them the link that opens the YouTube search with that phrase in it. So you're saving them seconds here and there and saving them having to go out. They can just click links and get to things. That can be a huge time saver. You can also include to-do lists so they aren't having to wade back through a lesson to figure out what was it I was supposed to do, what was the order. So sometimes checklists can help there, so they're not trying to watch your video and do it. Like, if you give them a checklist, maybe that'll make it faster for them. Or maybe you can include some templates. So we do this where we have templates for your lessons. So instead of trying to figure out how am I going to put my lesson together, it's more of a Mad Lib, fill in the blank. We got the sections all set up for you. You just type in the lesson into the templates. So same sort of thing with your course. Where can you make it easier for your students? So based on all of these things, hopefully you should be able to get close and give them a range of time. And then always include that caveat of, I don't know how quickly you can perform things, how quickly you are able to complete these lessons and these steps. I've been doing this for a long time. This is how long it would take me. I don't know how fast, depending on if you're talking to people, you can say, like, I don't know how fast it is that you read or you comprehend, or how quickly you type, how quickly you can execute some of these steps. So I'll give you this range and hopefully you could complete within about this time, but just know this is just an estimate and your results could vary. So I hope that helps you answer that very, very common question of how long is it going to take me to complete your course. One last thing that I will add that can really help with this is consider adding a bonus to your course to help folks with time management. If they're really terrible at it, there is some already pre-created content out there that you can purchase to help you with teaching time management so folks can do a better job with it. So I'll include a link. It's called PLR, which stands for private label rights. And basically other people have created content already in courses that they let you purchase and rebrand to your own as your own content. So you definitely want to change it up, include your own stories, rename it, that kind of thing. But it gives you a place to start. I'll include a link in the show notes to one of my favorite PLR websites that I like to use. And also make sure you check the licensing so you know how much you can do with it. So check the licensing, but that's another option, is give a bonus. So when people say, like, how long is it going to take? You can say, hey, if you want to improve your time management, your productivity, I have this bonus that I include. You can start there so that you can be more productive as you're going through the course. All right. So we have a busy couple weeks coming up here as we're getting ready for the 24-hour course creator, and hope you're on the email list because I'm sharing all kinds of stuff. Plus I've been doing lots of clubhouse rooms to help folks get set, get ready, and jump in. So I hope to see you either on Clubhouse or we're doing some audio only Zoom rooms, and would love to have you. So have an incredible week. Let's kick off July with a bang, and I will catch you next week to talk even more about how to do your online course business. Take care.